Right now, I'm going live right now, showing you something how real situations are. Let me explain something to you. This is something I don't think this show realized at the time, right? Now, I'm watching this show right here. I don't know the name of this show, but it's a real interesting show. So far, I gotta watch it because the little things that I've seen about it so far, it just lets me know that I had to watch it. But also, my wife showed me I had to watch this. Now, let me show you why my wife showed me this, right? Now, all my children of certain individuals here view me in acknowledgement of a matter of fact, all the star beings here and view me, that's really stars in space only, of my real children of all space that's around right now in the higher consciousness of even the outside the atmosphere traveling in real space here in view. All my children, all my stars, all my children really here in view. Now, even of all the orbit, the place in the orbits that were set according to the order here in view. Now, let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something that my wife was showing me. You ever see how a person, have a certain astrological empress at a point? And look, because this somebody that came, this chick right here, she came to make fun of the guy a certain type of way, and he didn't like the way she was making fun of him. So I'm just gonna show you the guy. He didn't like the way she was making fun of him. Now I'm gonna show you something. There's something about my empress that's going on a certain type of way that they want an individual. So you ever see your empress? You know she's one way and then she makes another face. And then the man says you have to fill that off with you. What you showed me any little funny things a certain type of way for? It's just like what I was explaining on my earlier YouTube video. And then also it's the same thing because that means she's literally battling in martial arts somewhere, getting it in the physical attribute without nobody knowing, and then she's appearing at places at times, showing certain individuals like they probably be mad that she's looking a certain type of way because they might not understand what's really going on, but they're supposed to understand. She's showing them the person she's really fighting at the time that's causing the disturbance in her astrological tree, and she's trying to have a certain point of acknowledgement, and then she's showing you the person she's physically getting it in the attribute with, because like me, I'm explaining if you could comprehend what's really going on, and then at another place my wife is really fighting somebody physically, and then she's trying to show you. You hear that? I'm so precise in the vibrational frequencies, even in the harmony, that I'm telling you, I'm picking up on her signal, peeping what's going on. She's really getting it in a martial arts somewhere with somebody she's going against, and they're probably trying to chessmate her situation a certain type of way without nobody realizing it. She's trying to warn the children for they could realize. You know how some children is going on with life, and they just, it's not, say the children of the earth, they're just going on with life and they're just feeling happy and they don't care what's really going on. Their mother is really somewhere that's is probably deadly right now. And then on top of it, she's showing them in sequences a pattern of the individuals trying to checkmate them for them to even be careful when it comes to the physical reality, because right now she's opening up her broad. So that when she's opening up her broad, that means she's really getting it in, and she's positioning herself because other individuals are warring with her anatomy physically somewhere, and then she's showing individuals a certain type of way because it's just like a reflection of a point. She's trying to show the individuals of her being a certain type of way of a form of individuals that's trying to hurt her, that is trying to cause complications in her existence, and they're doing it repeatedly in the paradigm of time because my wife is the astrological empress, so she has a whole atmosphere. So and when she's showing you certain things in the paradigm of time, she's showing you what's happening repeatedly at one spot. So this is certain things you got to take care of because you have certain people running around somewhere manipulating a vital point of her existence, and that's causing controversy or of distortion in her energy, and she's ready to finish it because she wants her children to elevate to the higher level of the education so they can have a form of a happy, humane condition so that she could be able to teach them the certain sacredness that she needs to teach them. But if she's fighting and then you have her struggling in a physical reality somewhere and other people manipulate and trying to get at her vital point of her origin, that means there's gonna be children or certain people is gonna be attacked in the physical reality a certain type of way, and then on top of it, she's just already trying to show you how to defend yourself and where to regard yourself at because she's not tolerating it. She's really standing up for a situation. That means she made the judgment to go after or to defend and have the right to defend herself if somebody did wrong to her.
Drive me through the woods, coming here, when all you have to do is ask me, like a normal person.
Probably that's the person right there. I know the difference.
A problem for me, sir.
There's a chick the other day was on a commercial. She looked kind of diesel. She looked like kind of muscular and broad. And she was taking people through a aerobics commercial. And she was like, yo, did I either so you give it to me or I'm going to take. She was saying, the way she was speaking. And the funny thing is, as I'm speaking, my wife is trying to say this is a part of you a certain type of way because look at the way I'm physically dressed about certain things and another person won't realize a certain thing. But the way Shorty was talking is like, when she was speaking to me, it could be a part of me a certain type of way, but the way her mentality is going about certain things is a difference because now it's probably somebody, things that she's trying to handle all in one time, or the energy that I'm speaking about with my wife and I'm seeing the disturbance is a certain type of way on my wife. And even when Shorty was speaking to me, I viewed it on her, even in the commercial, and she might have been a certain type of way. And you want to know what's causing it? You want to know something? You know what made, you remember earlier when I was making a documentary and I showed you, listen, let me explain something to you. And the funny things about the situation is, you know who's causing this type of situation to occur a certain type of way? The chick Bone. You remember Bones from the television show Bones? Bones is that chick that's causing the interference in her family's anatomy a certain type of way. Another person says, "Why you nitpicking on her?" Because she must have did some type of marriage or something with somebody and been with somebody in the physical reality at a time and didn't honor her anatomy of the sacredcy because she was of a sacredcy, so she probably didn't honor her anatomy of the sacredcy, and then on top of it, because the fact is she has a form of education, so she feel like she's living the life a certain type of way. Just like remember what happened with my wife when I was getting a kiss, and then on top of it, in the house of Barry Artist with my children, and then I was trying to educate my children, and I was trying to tell them at the time, like, yo, listen, man, when you're doing certain things, bro, you can't be certain ways because, you know, a person gotta be real a certain type of way. You can't, you know, my hair's curly, so don't feel no way about my situation if you're really looking at my situation. I see certain people are just viewing my situation a certain type of way, and I'm just letting you know, so, you know, but she's telling individuals, like, they wasn't dealing with their sacredcy a certain type of way, so certain things are happening a certain type of way in the physical reality. So she's already trying to deal with the situation. So if a person is doing something and they're upsetting her situation, it's gonna manifest in the physical reality. So you gotta know the difference of the physical reality even when it comes up, because the chick Bones, she probably on a level, but she's calling it a discrepancy dealing with the high acknowledgement of family, and it shows at a time, but another person is looking at her. A person could be a family member and the person says, I can't be able to turn to another person a certain type of way because the way certain things may be. But my wife in the other movie, they try to checkmate my wife. So it's causing a discrepancy in her situation. So another individual gotta be real even in life, and then what's causing it at the time because another person's being lenient and a form of appeal to a person at a point of existence that's causing discrepancy because the certain purity that needs to be refined a certain type of way is a certain type of way, and then on top of it, the astrological tree that they're dealing with is very militant when it comes to the purity, and then they've been warring through generations keeping that purity. So another person doing something wrong is causing other individuals to react away, and it's causing probably a form of a humane condition in chemistry that's making certain people react in certain astrological trees when they come around each other to do something that's unpleasant, and it's causing a reaction even in the physical reality when it comes to my wife. And then my wife is, my wife, she's of my heart. I'm the one that made the astrological empress. So, another person doing something, I'm gonna naturally know a certain type of way. I'm gonna see signs even for myself a certain type of way and know that somebody's doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. And then on top of it, when things like that happen, I'm a person that goes into a certain vibrational frequency that causes me to really be on a certain type of war mode, a certain type of way. And then when that happens naturally, you don't want to be, I don't get upset. So, I don't do certain other things. But when things like that happen, only certain things set me off a certain type of way that makes me and my anatomy starts reacting and starts looking away. And then if a person looks at me, it looks like, and there's nothing wrong with me. So it's just my skin reacting a certain type of way. And on top of it, the person that's doing it is trying to get a form of leniency so they don't be disciplined. So the anatomy of a certain vibrational frequency that kicks in for me to war with the individual, they're trying to manipulate. And I know they can't come to me and manipulate because I'm a sense it easy and I'm going to get rid of it. But another person's probably not on the level to realize what's going on, and they're leading them down a path that's going to cause a physical destruction. So you got to be very careful and stuff. Wow, as I said that, look at that.
It's really
Oh,
She gave me that evil eye. Like, is this head on?
yeah, that's crazy. I guess I'm saying, oh, this is our last year. And I was
exactly. I know.
so I guess we'll just stay on this way.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. This is the same chick that almost made Lynn almost your Lynn. My wife Lynn didn't want to play with this chick before, man, because she said one time, I brought her somewhere and she said something to Lynn, but she didn't realize who Lynn was. And when she said to my wife Lynn looked at me and I was like, oh my lord. Yo, it was so serious. Lynn got mad a certain type of when something was happening. My wife Dramata came to me instantly. It was like, hey, don't play with me. Like, and then Lynn, and when I turned around, Lynn was gone. Lynn was gone. Like, I don't know what Lynn went to go do it. I was like, I had to, no, 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 I just didn't want that type of, because the kids, if my wife is doing, like, if my wife get a certain type of way, even if my children, you ever had a person that disciplines their humane condition a certain type of way to form? Now imagine my wife on their alone time, you know what I'm saying? And then each of my wives have that same type of mentality, a certain type of way. So sometimes you know how some people got to get phone calls. People don't even get phone calls at a time. So my wives already read it. They be, people be showing up like, wow, here we go. It'd be a mad, it'd be a whole, it'd be serious. And then right now, my my heart on a high level is telling me to really be on another type of emotional vibration because of individuals. And right now, I'm gonna just let you view me a certain type of way. Right now, I'm on another type of vibe right now, and I'm the type of person. I'm really refining and healing myself, but I don't want to get into a physical attribute because I don't want to get. I'm a person. I don't like being muscular. So how can I say this? I don't like being uh, 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 a form of might. I don't like being a form of high might, high mighty frame. I like being a high mighty frame. I like being a toned, a toned, flowing individual a certain type of way because it won't be a wonderful thing for me to have a high mighty frame because I'd rather be toned a certain type of way because if somebody's manipulating the physical reality, I'll be able to discern what they're doing a certain type of way. But if I'm a certain type of way, then they're gonna get an excuse and be like, "Oh, this I don't want no excuse." And then everybody knows, like I could go instantly into a slim frame, like a slim, slender built, a slim, mighty slender built, so of strength. So be very careful because I look like this one minute, next minute you see me, I'll just be on some, type of way, and I put my hands on you, the intensity of what I'll do to you in a paradigm of time for a long period of time, you're gonna have to measure the type of reaction a certain type of one when it comes to physical. If I put you in the hospital, if me Ruffling decide Jr. decides to put anybody in the hospital and shit, you're gonna have to measure your physical what's gonna happen to your what happens to individuals a certain type of way. So
Ancient astronaut, licensed with plan.
because I'm gonna have to know because I'm gonna have to be easy a certain time when it comes to the physical reality. So and on top of it, I made all paradigm. So you think about that shit. No, no.
The problem nobody knows that others learn from looking for me. I'm not safe.
Then another person at a time got to learn how to control their temperament a certain type of way in the physical reality because the things that's a certain type of way even at a time. Because the intent, you don't want somebody going forward and the intent already trying to make the decision of the physical reality, and then another person might enjoy and keep it as a certain form because the way they deal with the physical. I don't want to speak about certain things. I don't want people being on certain other people's level. I think this is certain things I'm gonna stop speaking about. The physical attributes of the physics when it comes to the higher mythology and metaphysics of one's spirituality and one's human condition of the physical being. And I'm going into Aries mode right now. So and not only Aries mode because I'm gonna cool down. So by the time I'm ready, really ready for the nighttime, I'll be looking cool as hell. So you got to be very careful when it comes to me, man. So because on top of it, my temperament is serious and is already in my anatomy already. And on not only my wife, when my wife is in a situation, my anatomy already lets my children know of the high consciousness. There's a real serious situation that they got to handle, and it literally be visible to them at the time, so they'll know.
Thank you, Judge. Is there anything else?
I'm a person, I have consideration for other people a certain type of way, and I don't want that type of mentality to influence my children when it comes to a certain atmosphere because of certain things that I indulged in with other people because of my children's irresponsibility at a time when I was supposed to be with my children a certain type of way. So then a person can't manipulate what? A person can't manipulate my children at a level, and that's why another person wonder why I indulge in even hanging out with individuals and their comfortability a certain type of way, because those are the people at the time that was going to manipulate my children when it came to certain astrological trees that they were in compatibility with at a time of acceleration. And then on top of it, where I was, because I'm a man. I used to hang out over there by Lenox, and other places back in the days. And when I go hang out, that's the areas I used to go hang out in, and the neighborhoods. But another person, you gotta be very careful. You gotta know my social economic system where I'm from and why I'm saying these things I'm saying. So for one to even know what's going on with me, but. We'll speak another time, we'll speak another time. One has to think about the intent of their physical. Oh, one has to think about the intent of their physical, what they're doing to another person at a time. Because if a person can't handle that and a person does that, another person in a natural, intimate. This is why I told my children they had to learn how to control their emotions when it came to the physical reality. Because whoever you get intimate with, you ever have somebody from a high astrological tree that disrespect the astrological tree, that get to a certain point and be like, "Nah, you can have this," and they give you that, and then when you react a certain way against yourself, that's the time that may be the time they choose to checkmate you, my nigga. Because when you act like that with yourself, another person will attack you at a time. They'll make you think like something else is going on, and it'll be something that you did to yourself, so you wouldn't be looking at a point of certain things that happen, and then next thing you know, certain things happen. This is the thing. This is why my wife used to be like, "Yo, why are you always hanging out with them?" I said, "Well, I'm hanging out with them niggas. Why you over there with them niggas drinking at the time and shit, and then I'm outside and shit. You know what I'm doing? The other day I was fucking niggas up." And then my wife telling me she was somewhere. She opened her eyes, she was somewhere, and then niggas was catching bodies, all type of places, and she was looking at. I was like, "Yo, listen, man, I don't want to hear that." And then my wife wondering what happened, and then my other son looking at him, a galactical war's going on. I just came, we're coming at the times of all love, and then another man's looking, "Oh, this is all right." And then I'm looking at the individual he looking at, and I'm like, "Yo, listen, this one don't even tolerate things like that. And this one want to do something to this one? This is one of the niggas, other niggas, I was like, yo, the other niggas was the niggas that I suspected that shouldn't even been up. And then certain niggas was up, like, for certain, I'd be like, yo, listen, you gotta be very careful because them niggas was on their way down. But the funny situation was, my children had to learn the physics, and when situations gonna get critical because of oaths that they made a certain type of way, I just said, yo, listen, handle your business. You know what I'm saying? And then you had then you had the sweet hood rat the Amazon the donkey ride chicks. the donkey the donkey ride chicks that didn't care. Just loved me a long time for no reason and shit. Just the bitches that caused the Nimrod then they started going towards the elves like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, you can't miss looking at that shit, man. They just get the fuck out of here." And then you tell my children the elves to tell them, they start coming over here, just look at them funny, be like, "Get the fuck out." Oh, my bad. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Funny situation, but we're speaking of the time, man. Love one.